Hey guys, I'm Phil Morrison. Professionally, I'm a dating coach for men with anxiety. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a few simple tips, simple tweaks, which will improve the interactions that you're having with girls in public. Specifically, it will improve interactions in all situations, but especially in the daytime. So, so I was coaching this guy, this client, really nice guy, lots of potential. And in the sessions with me and a session by himself, he has got some phone numbers and he's making good progress. One thing which I noticed early on in the sessions, though, so when he was talking to me, he'd have this nice open body language, come across completely normal, completely fine. But then every time he would go over and speak to a girl, he would speak like this. Arms would be folded, and he'd have a conversation. It would look quite casual. It might come across quite casual, but ultimately, this closed-off body language was definitely getting in his way and holding him back. And he was completely unaware that he was folding his arms in the interactions, and also the fact that it was having a negative consequence. It was actually reducing his chances of succeeding. He really just did this for comfort and didn't really realize that it would affect the outcome of the interactions. The thing is, when you have closed off body language, you're not really going to communicate powerfully when you're talking to the girls. You're not going to make the girls feel emotions. It's going to come across weaker, less strong. And if you think about it, you're looking to form a connection with a girl in public, in the space of 10 minutes. And for that connection to be so strong where she will agree to meet you for a drink and actually meet you for a drink. So you want to maximize the chances of the connection being as strong as possible. And if you have closed off body language, you're minimizing the chances of this actually happening. You're trying to communicate who you are and communicate yourself with honesty and confidence, and open body language empowers you to do this. So if you're a guy and you're going out there quite a lot and talking to girls in public, make sure you notice your body language or how open your body language is when you're talking to the girls. And in a similar way, don't put your hands in your pockets. Keep them out of your pockets. This definitely helps out. And I'm not saying that you can't succeed with your arms folded or with your hands in your pockets. Of course you can. You can be super confident, super charming, find a girl that you get on with. You can still succeed without these tweaks. But with these tweaks, it's going to help you out. It's going to make you come across more confident, and it's going to increase your chances. So I would recommend having a session in public where you focus on body language. And I'm not suggesting that you try to control every aspect of your body language. That would not be something which I teach. If you're honest and confident, your body language should naturally follow. But you can at least focus on being open in your body language. That's really simple. And the next thing, which is similar, which I also noticed with some interactions, which I've also noticed in some of my own interactions in the past, was pointed out by my mentor, Jonathan, and also I've noticed in clients that I'm coaching, is sometimes they stand too far away from the girls and start an interaction from quite a distance, and it just feels really awkward and off, doesn't feel so natural. And I'll really try and show you what I mean by this. So if I was to move my chair back quite a bit, and was like, hey, it's Phil. How's it going? It doesn't come across so well. It feels a little bit off, a little bit strange. But if I'm closer and I was like, hey, it's Phil, how's it going? It comes across better. It doesn't come across as awkward. So proximity is also important. And the idea really is to talk to the girl as if she's a friend that you've known for years. So when you go and speak to a friend, you wouldn't stand miles away and shout across to them. You just go to a normal distance and start chatting. So you want to do that in your interactions in public. So you can notice if you're really far away or you're a normal distance. This is really, really simple, but it's mistakes that are so easy to make in these situations, and if you're doing them repeatedly, they can really hurt your chances and you might be totally oblivious to it. And the third thing that I would say on this topic of body language, so and you might notice that I'm keeping it very much big picture. So like I said before, I don't teach, I wouldn't recommend someone to try and control every aspect of their body language. It's a natural thing. But these are a few big picture things such as proximity, openness, and when you get these right, it takes care of many other things naturally. The third thing is to actually face the girl. To actually face the girl, right, when you're talking to her. And there's the situation with this client, for example. There was one interaction where he actually did a good job, and if the girl was single and the interaction had lasted longer, potentially it could have led somewhere. But it just felt a bit awkward. He felt awkward, and I actually joined in this interaction. So I just said, "Hey, I'm my client's friend. I'm hanging out with him in town, so I could observe the interaction and suggest any tweaks." And I felt the awkwardness as well. And it was because he stopped the girl and she had turned quite a bit away from him, so she was angled, and it just there wasn't that openness, that flow, that connection. It's almost like if you imagine if you was the guy and I was the girl, the girl was almost at this angle, and the whole time he just felt tense and it felt awkward. Then the next interaction, he stopped this really beautiful Portuguese girl. It was face on, great proximity, open body language, and it just felt so natural, not forced at all, no awkwardness, just like a normal conversation that two people which know each other would have. That's what it felt like. That's how it should feel. So these are 3 tips when it comes to body language, which they can really make a massive difference, because you might be unconsciously making one of these mistakes, and it's only when you actually make this tweak, make this correction, that you'll notice a massive improvement in your interactions in general. And what I would suggest in terms of learning this is to have 1 2-hour session where you focus on these 3 things one at a time. So firstly, you can say to yourself, is my body language open or closed? So talk to a few girls and make sure that your arms aren't folded, your hands aren't in your pockets, you're displaying open body language. Secondly, make sure that when you're talking to a girl, it's just like you're talking to a friend. So you're standing at a normal proximity, you're not standing overly far away, which also, it comes across weird because it suggests that you're trying to hide something, you're unsure about something, and it doesn't feel so comfortable when you're standing quite far away, and the girls don't feel too comfortable either. So I guess one thing I'm saying is that the more comfortable you feel, the more comfortable she will feel. So have open body language, be stand with a normal proximity to the girl, and also face the girl. So it's an open connection, right? So the whole idea is to form a connection. And with these 3 tips, it's going to massively enhance the connection building process. And this is obviously, like I said at the start, this is critical for getting girls that you're just meeting and for the first time in public to actually join you for a date. So these 3 tips will enhance the power of your communication, and they will enhance the connections which you're forming, and therefore they can only help you in your journey to mastering this skill set and being able to go out there, have great conversations with girls, find those which you like, which actually like you, and set up the dates. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and I wish you a great rest of your day. If you're a guy who is struggling with this skill set, you're going out there, approaching girl after girl after girl, but you're not really going on dates, and you're finding it to be disheartening or frustrating, then you can send me an email. I do one-on-one coaching, and there's lots of things which I offer. So I sometimes offer free taster sessions. So if you're particularly nervous, I can take you out for 2 hours one-on-one in public and basically help you out with one particular sticking point, such as starting conversations, having girls actually stop and talk to you. Whatever the sticking point is, it can have a 2-hour session where I help you with your particular sticking point. And I also offer more in-depth coaching, such as 6-week programs where there's a 2-hour session each week for 6 weeks, and I coach you into having much better interactions with the girls and setting up dates. So if you're interested in receiving the one-on-one coaching, whether it's a free taster session or a full program, just send me an email, and I look forward to meeting you and working with you. Best of luck.